The snowstorm had swallowed the mining colony long before nightfall. Wind screamed across the frozen plains of Caldarnine, tearing at the metal of my outpost like it wanted to peel me out of existence. I had come here for silence, far away from wars, politics, and the mistakes that haunted me. Isolation was safer. Pain didn't echo as loudly when no one else heard it. But that night, the sky tore open. A fireball ripped through the clouds, spiraling down in violent flashes. Not a meteor, too controlled. A vessel, crashing, burning, falling. For a moment, I stood frozen at the observation window, watching its doomed descent. My heart said stay out of it. I already knew how this story ended. Someone dies, and I am forced to feel again. But something inside me whispered, go. Minutes later, I reached the crash site on my rover, tires grinding ice. The wreckage hissed and steamed, buried in a crater of shattered snow. The emergency hatch had blown open. Someone had crawled out. I found her collapsed beside the ship, barely conscious. Humanoid, pale, her hair silver under the cold moonlight. Her clothes were shredded like she had been through a war. Bruises, frostbite, blood. She was failing fast. I knelt beside her, checking vitals. Faint pulse, labored breathing. Then her eyes opened, bright violet, glowing unnaturally, locking onto mine with raw terror. Please, she whispered, voice shaking. Don't take me back, please. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know what she was. Alien? Yes. Dangerous? Possibly. But she wasn't a threat in that moment. She was just afraid. I'm not here to hurt you, I said. Her eyes searched my face for a lie. Whatever she saw convinced her. Just enough. She passed out in my arms. I carried her into the rover and turned it back toward the outpost. Logic screamed at me, you're making a mistake, Ethan. But I didn't stop. I couldn't. People spend their lives running from fate. But sometimes, fate finds you anyway. I didn't know it yet, but saving her would cost me everything. And it had already begun. The storm hadn't calmed by the time I reached my outpost. The metal doors sealed behind us with a hydraulic groan, shutting out the screaming wind. I laid the alien girl on the medical table. Her body was ice cold, skin marked with wounds that didn't look like injury from a crash. They looked like someone had tried to cut something out of her. My hands hesitated. I had treated hundreds of people back when I worked for the Terran Frontier Corps, but she wasn't human. Her blood shimmered faintly under the light, threads of silver mixed with crimson. Definitely not standard biology. Still, a life is a life. I connected her to the portable med pod. The system scanned her vital but stopped halfway, glitching as if a biology confused it. Unregistered species detected flashed across the screen. Figures. Hours passed. She drifted in and out of consciousness, murmuring things I didn't understand. Sometimes words and languages I recognized, sometimes sounds that didn't belong to anything human. She woke again sometime near dawn cycle. Her breathing had steadied, but fear still burned in her eyes when she saw me. She pushed herself back, hands trembling. "Where am I?" she asked, voice low, guarded. "Mining station. Outpost 17. I answered. You crashed. I pulled you out." She stared like she was trying to decide if I was a threat. "Why?" "Because you were dying," I replied. "That doesn't answer the question." I didn't know what she wanted to hear. Maybe the truth. Because I don't like watching people die. Her expression changed. Not trust, not gratitude, just confusion. Like kindness was something she didn't understand. She looked around the room before whispering, "You shouldn't have saved me." "Why not?" "Because now they'll come for you too." Before I could ask who, she winced sharply, grabbing her side. Her clothes were still damp with blood. I reached for medical shears to cut through the torn suit so I could clean the wounds. But the moment she saw what I was about to do, she jolted backward in panic. Don't remove my clothes," she cried, clutching them as if they were armor. I froze. That wasn't fear of pain. That was terror of being seen. "What are you hiding?" I asked. Her answer was a whisper that sent a cold shiver down my spine. Something worth killing worlds for. For a while, we just stared at each other, two strangers with nothing in common except a growing list of unanswered questions. The kind of silence that fills a room before something dangerous happens. I wasn't afraid of her, but I was afraid of what I didn't understand. Her clothes were torn, soaked in half-frozen blood and fused patches of strange burnt material. Whatever she'd been through, it wasn't a simple crash. Someone had hunted her. Someone had tried to break her. "You need treatment," I said calmly. "If I don't clean these wounds, they'll get infected." Her eyes darted to the medical tools like they were weapons. No scans. No tech. No removal. No exposure. Exposure. Strange word choice. "I'm not trying to hurt you," I said. "You don't understand," she whispered, voice cracking. "If you see what's under my skin, you'll wish you had left me to die." Pain. Memory. Fear. She carried all three like a second heartbeat. I took a slow step closer. "Look, I don't care what you are. Right now, you're injured. Let me help." Her breathing was fast, panicked. I reached out again, not as a medic, but as a human being offering reassurance. She didn't pull away this time. I carefully cut a section of fabric near her ribs where the bleeding was worst. The moment the cloth peeled away, I froze. There, embedded beneath her skin, ran faint blue lines that pulsed like circuits, alien biocode, etched directly into her flesh. Not tattoos, not implants. A living map. I stayed, stunned. "What is that?" Her eyes shimmered with defeat. The reason they will never stop hunting me. Before I could react, alarms blared through the bunker. Inbound signal detected. Multiple ships approaching. Another alert flashed, an authorized orbit scan, tracking energy signature. "They found me," she whispered. I moved to secure the perimeter. "Who found you?" She closed her eyes like she was reliving a nightmare. When she opened them again, there was no fear left, only resolve. "The Order of Purity," she said. "They don't just want to kill me. They want what I carry." "And what is that?" Her voice was barely audible, but every word felt like a blade against the spine of the universe. "A weapon," she said. "One hidden inside me." The storm outside had settled into an eerie calm, but the sky above my outpost was no longer empty. Warships, unmarked, silent, predatory, hung in low orbit, scanning the frozen wasteland for a signal. For her. I shut down every transmitter, every beacon, every external system. Survival on Kaldar 9 wasn't easy on a good day, but going dark during a manhunt was suicide. Still, better invisible than dead. The alien girl, Lyra, paced the room, clutching her clothes as if it were the last thing keeping her alive. Her eyes tracked every sound, every movement. She had the instincts of someone who had spent a long time running. "Who are they?" I asked. Her voice was steady now, but not emotionless, just painfully controlled. "The Order of Purity, a human extremist fleet. They believe alien technology is a threat to existence. They destroy anything they don't understand. Species, planets, entire star systems. And you're saying they are here for you?" "No," she said bitterly. "They are here for what was done to me." She pulled back her sleeve. More glowing lines, alien biocode, ran across her arm like constellations etched beneath her skin. "I was taken," she said. "Not kidnapped. Harvested. My people weren't prisoners. They were raw material." The words hit harder than I expected. She wasn't just a fugitive. She was a victim of something monstrous. I checked the perimeter feed. 3 stealth shuttles had landed 2 kilometers east, just beyond the ridge. They were spreading out in search patterns. "They'll track your crash site soon," I said. "This place won't stay hidden." She looked at me, analyzing, deciding if she could trust me with her life, and worse, with her truth. "If they catch me alive, they'll dissect me to recreate the weapon code inside me. If they can't," she didn't finish. I did. "They'll sterilize the planet to erase you." "Yes." I loaded a rifle, powered up auxiliary generators, and opened the emergency cache. I had promised myself I would never go back to this life. Never again. But fate didn't care about promises. "You should leave," she said. "Save yourself." I met her gaze. "Not happening." "Why?" she demanded. "Because I'm done watching people suffer while I do nothing." For the first time since I found her, something changed in her eyes, not softness, not trust, but a flicker of hope she didn't want to feel. Outside, the sky rumbled. They were coming. Lyra didn't speak for a long time after that. Maybe she was shocked I didn't abandon her. Maybe she was waiting for the moment I changed my mind. People had probably made her promises before, then broke them. I wouldn't blame her for expecting the same from me. I handed her a thermal jacket from storage. She hesitated before taking it, like she wasn't used to people giving her anything without a price. Stay close, I said as I checked ammo packs and plasma cells. If they find the outpost, we fall back into the mines. She frowned. You're leading us underground. There are tunnels beneath this station that stretch for miles. Mining shafts. They won't scan that deep through ion rock. She looked at me like she was trying to read who I really was. You're not just a miner. I didn't respond. Her gaze narrowed. You move like a soldier, you speak like one, and you calculate risk before emotion. She paused. But you chose to save me anyway. That means you're either reckless or broken. I stared at her. Maybe both. She didn't push for details, but something told me she knew. She wasn't the only one carrying ghosts. We didn't have time to talk about it. The threat drew closer by the minute. The first tremor shook the outpost. I checked the scanner. Multiple armored signals, closing fast. They'd found the crash site. It wouldn't take them long to follow the tracks to my base. We had minutes, maybe less. We move now, I said. Lyra stepped toward me, urgency in her voice. Before we go, you need to know something. If they capture me, don't try to save me. Kill me. No. Her expression hardened. You don't understand. What I carry, it isn't just data. It isn't a weapon you can hold. It's alive. You saw the biocode etched inside me. It's not ink. It's not metal. It's a living algorithm designed to evolve. If they get it. I said no. Her voice dropped. Why risk your life for me? I looked at her, not as an alien, not as a burden, but as someone who had been through hell and still hadn't given up, because nobody did for me when I needed it. The ground shook again, closer this time. She didn't thank me. Instead, she stepped to my side. Two fugitives. One purpose. We were already in this together.